Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where today you join me at the Olympic Stadium here in Rome with Ferrari to head inside to their launch venue to go and take a very first look at the brand new Ferrari Roma. We've got the red carpet down behind me, let's head straight on in then and go and check out their new Sports GT. This is a pretty awesome location right in front of the stadium here for the launch of the new car, La Nuova Dolce Vita. But let's head straight inside then to go and take a look at the car that enters Ferrari into a new segment, a new section of the market with their 2 Plus Sports Coupe. The Roma, named after the city of course, the city of Rome, the capital of Italy, is the car that can be an everyday car while still offering some very sporty characteristics. This though is a pretty special way for customers to arrive. This is the customer event space event venue. Just wait until you see inside and we can check out the car in detail. How's this for setting the mood then? The red lighting and the cavallino, the prancing horse at the end of the tunnel, but let's head straight on through and go in. If there is anybody who knows how to make a launch of a car stand out, it is Ferrari. Have a look at this, the new Ferrari Roma behind the curtains, and in a second we can go through the car, go through all of the ins and outs, and have a look at the brand new Ferrari Roma. And this is it, the new Ferrari Roma. Let's just walk around it. I will take you through all of the details. We'll have a look at the interior, the engine, the rear, the space that's available, what it is all about. Just take in the design though. It is inspired by the Ferrari 2+2s of old, the likes of the 250 GT 2+2, but look at some of the design features. You'll instantly notice the new style for the tail lights, also the headlights around the front, but still 2 on each side, 2 exhaust pipes on each side around the rear as well. Coming back towards the front just quickly, the interior looks awesome. We will get to that in a lot of detail very shortly. I can see some inspirations around here that come from the new Ferrari Monza, their Icona series car, the SP1, the SP2 for example, the shape of the front grille with that very pronounced and low nose. Also the headlights, the LED lights that you have running around. We've got the daytime running lights currently on the car, but basically up front you've got the 3.9 litre twin turbocharged V8, the incredibly successful engine from Ferrari, 4 times Engine of the Year winner. In this car it makes 620 CV, 620 horsepower and 760 newton meters of torque. All of the power goes to the rear wheels through an 8-speed dual clutch gearbox, the gearbox that they developed for the new SF90 Stradale. That's 6 kilos lighter than the old 7-speed DCT that they were using in some of the previous models. So all of that means you have 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 62 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds, and on to 200 kilometers per hour in 9.3. It will go to a top speed of 320 kilometers per hour. But let's come then and have a look at the interior of this stunning car in Bianco Italia, a triple layer pearlescent metallic white paint. So for the door handles, and this is the first Ferrari now that has comfort access, so keys in your pocket, you would literally just press in the door handles, pop the doors, and have a look inside here. You've got this wraparound cabin style, a gigantic 16-inch digital display for the dashboard, an 8.4-inch vertical display for the infotainment in the center. You've got a 5 different modes on the Manettino, including race. Now normally Ferrari don't include race on their more GT style models, for example the Portofino, their 2+2 convertible, and the GTC 4 Lusso, the 4-seater. We will go through the interior in much more detail though, but the red and black contrast in here with that central spine, a very, very nice place with this new style that was introduced on the SF90. Now of course it is called a 2 Plus, so let's see exactly how this works. While there are seats and seat belts back there, you're not going to be fitting a sizable adult. This car is up against the likes of the DB11 V8, the Continental GT cars that have back seats, but mostly in terms of the storage space for practicality. Now let's come through and just open up the engine right there in the center, because of course this is always one of the highlights of a new Ferrari model, is to take a look at the beast that lies within. If I can just find a catch right here. So in this case, beautifully presented as always, with its chassis number worn at the front. Through the intakes you have that 3.9 litre twin turbocharged V8, the engine that has developed significantly on from the likes of the 488 and F8 Tributo and the Portofino. It's heavily reworked. In fact the car is 70% reworked versus those. It has a weight of 1472 kilos in total, so reasonably light all considering, but up there, stunning to look at as always. Let me close this back down. It's a very light bonnet. That's not going to do it. Give it a click. Press it into place. Come and talk a bit more about the design. So around front, as always, you've got the prancing horse right here in the center, in front of that grille. I do think that might look good painted in a contrast color. like a black for example. We've got the carbon fibre for the splitter, just with a small paint touch right at the very front, and some more intakes and airflow management that you can see going through. As we look at the headlights, you have the impression that there are no covers over them. There are glass covers over the top and bottom sections. It's a really cool design. I like that. It gives it a lot of sporty presence. How long the front is, those kind of iconic GT looks, swooping right down towards the nose. Of course, we've got large wheels, and then that kind of sculpted in bodywork down towards the side skirts as well, and just taking in all of the details as we walk around. Now, as we come towards the back of the car, this is actually an active spoiler with 3 different positions depending on the speed at which you're driving. So this is currently low, sitting down. It has a middle position and high position. It works above 100 kilometers an hour to behave differently depending as well on the Manettino modes and settings that you have from the car. But you've got this fastback style swooping rear down towards that line, which you'll notice from the boot lid edge, around the headlights, through the bodywork towards the wheel wells. Further down, carbon fibre for the diffuser, the dual exhaust tailpipes on both sides, which no doubt will sound very nice because they have developed a new exhaust system. It's using the modular chassis, so like I said, significantly reworked from the Portofino, but it also happens to have a bypass system for the exhaust, which means, well, we're probably going to have a good V8 sound out of it. If we open up the rear, press the button here, lift up this. It is not a hatchback, it is just the boot itself that opens up at the back there. As always with Ferrari, you have the spec list of this car in question, if you're interested in just seeing what we've actually got fitted on it. Extra range exterior, Bordeaux interior, and some of the specs that are fitted. But luggage space wise, what do we have? Well, it does go quite far in. Now it is quite dark here, so let me turn on my light and try and show you a little bit more of that. There's a shelf further in towards the back, but obviously quite hard to see in the current darkness, but a decent amount of storage back there. Anyway, let's just pull the rear down and press into place. Let's go and check out the interior then. So coming through here to take a seat inside, pop the doors back open. Interior wise, of course, you've got the dual tone separated here by the white accent to match with the exterior. You've got the button there to open the boot as well as your memory seats. We've got the JBL sound system. There's an electronic door release button to actually open the doors. But you've basically got this interior that's upgraded to these new kind of touch panels, illuminated touch panels, which look very, very nice. So here are all of your light settings. I'm just going to take a step in, actually, take a seat inside the new Ferrari Roma. So the engine stop button is that touch button right in the middle. This is our Manettino to flick between the various different driving modes. So you have the wet mode, comfort, sport, race, and then all the way for ESC off. Now, like I mentioned, on the Manettino, having race, that's a new introduction for a car at this segment. And in fact, that also gives you SSC 6, slip slide control 6. There you can see the animated display. I think this display actually shows you a lot of information. Traditional iconic rev counter right in the centre, goes up to 7,500 RPM. Oh, look at that. Look at that view, the full navigation map over in the USA there, but giving us a view. Then you've got the race style mode with that horizontal rev counter, running us through the different displays, getting a feel for what this all looks like. My drive to bring up some more information. This car's done 169 kilometres with that spinning wireframe, and then some information as well about the different modes that you had the car in. By having all of these controls on the steering wheel, the idea is, of course, that you can switch backwards and forwards, flip between them as and when you want to jump between the different modes. You've got the air conditioning vents mounted either side, kind of integrated into the instrument pinnacle up towards the top. In the centre, as I mentioned, you've got this 8.4-inch infotainment display, which has your air conditioning controls, all touchscreen, of course. Also currently running a demo so that we can see running through the various options. And beneath that, they have this, the control panel for the DCT. Now, this was introduced on the SF90 Stradale, and it gives you the feel of an old gated manual. Of course, this is where you've got reverse, manual, auto, drive, your different settings, but the way it looks is a nice tribute and link back towards the past. Coming down, a few other buttons. There's a Ferrari logo installed just there in front of the cup holder. You've got some adjustable sections. The armrest is illuminated with a USB port and a cigarette socket. A decent armrest storage, actually, space there. Around towards the passenger side, you've got the Roma logo here on the dashboard, and just open up the glove box. That's some decent space there in the glove box. And of course, this is your passenger display. So that can be illuminated and give the passenger some of the rev information, the drive information as well, while you're on the move. There are just some small nice touches, you know, the way you've got the silver trim here, breaking up the sides. Yes, this does look quite tablet-esque, the way that's installed in the centre, but overall I'm a big fan of that curved 16-inch display. The steering wheel has become smaller. You still have, you know, your indicators up here, your light controls, and your wiper controls over on the other side, and then of course these touch buttons. This being a demo, they aren't specifically running, but you would just press and hope you find the right one. That's always one of the things with touch buttons, is whether you're going to be bang on to the right mode. But inside, yeah, tech upgrade, fantastic for the money. It's about the same price, roughly speaking, as the Portofino, so we're talking 200,000 euros or so. I was going to try and climb into the back, but I don't think it's going to be the easiest thing. Maybe I'll just see what it's like very, very quickly, see if I can manage back here. Okay, yeah, this isn't something you would be able to do with an adult. That's not a 2+2, that's a 2+, as it is exactly named. So let me climb back out, trying to work out how to do this in a semi-dignified fashion. Not too bad. Slide the seat back. And yeah, this is it then. So what do you think of the new Ferrari Roma? In the white here under the bright lights, of course, we've got a lot of issues in terms of lighting, but I have to say, I like the look a lot. You can see almost some styling like the F-Type or the AMG GTC with this fastback style, sitting right back towards the rear wheels, that very, very elongated front end that the car has as well. But the styling, this aggressive look, the sportiness of the character, and it is a completely new segment for Ferrari. To introduce this, they've arrived on the market now, expanding their horizons. This has been a big year for new models, the 812 GTS, the F8 Tributo in Coupe and Spider. We've had the arrival of the SF90 Stradale, and now also we have the new Ferrari Roma launched here in Rome, La Nuova Dolce Vita. What a car, what an opportunity to see it first right here. A very quick change of specification then. We have a silver car here as well, where you can see some of the differences, again with the silver painted inserts for the grille around the front, the yellow carbon ceramic brake calipers, as always with Ferrari's carbon ceramic brakes offered as standard, and the black interior too on this car, just trying to keep out of the way slightly, walking around it. But a different look again here at the Ferrari Roma, and a very, very smart one. I imagine many of the cars will be ordered in these kind of specifications, different from the bright traditional Rosso Corsa. We don't actually have a Rosso Corsa car, coloured car here at all at the launch event, and nonetheless lovely to see. Right here, a first look at the Ferrari Roma. I shall leave it at that though. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed checking out the brand new Ferrari model, a new segment for them, like I said at the very beginning. What do you think though about the Ferrari Roma? I expect these are going to be selling like hotcakes, presumably on their way quickly towards being Ferrari's #1 seller. The entry-level Ferrari, if we could say that, priced at 200,000 euros here in Italy. I suspect we'll see around 160,000 pounds or so, plus some options and additional specification. Nonetheless though, tucked away behind the curtain there, a very nice new car, lovely to be here. A huge thanks to Ferrari for the opportunity to be able to share with you a first look at the Ferrari Roma. That's it though for now. Thanks again for watching guys, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers!